Very unusual video you may see. uh, it depends if you guys are interested in top 10s. I hope you are. Now, I'm actually gonna start this off with a bit of a high note. This is my first top 10 video, so hopefully you should probably give me some support with this very interesting video, which I'm actually gonna show you guys, and it will be expressing my personal opinions on this in particular subject. Now, what I'm doing is that if you read the title, it will be the top 10 roller coasters in the UK, or in England, by any fact, because I don't know if there's any theme parks in Scotland or Wales. Not being rude, I actually don't know. Now, let's actually start this off with a bit of a low down problem with some people who has gonna see this video and love Thorpe Park. Now, this number 10 spot is Nemesis Inferno. Yes, the twin of Nemesis, a bit of the opposite of twin, I mean the identical copy, which is shit. Now, there's actually a reason why I put this thing up top. One, it ruins the idea of Nemesis, which is the original king of roller coasters. Everyone knows this. Whoever doesn't know, well, where have you been? The king of coasters, which is Nemesis, has been copied by Thorpe Park and made their own ride, which is Nemesis Inferno. To be honest, it has more inversions. Yes, that's true. It's more modernized. Yes, it's true. But you gotta respect the originals, and I've actually respected it a bit too much lately, and I'm thinking Nemesis Inferno is complete shite. Now, again, many people will be speculating, saying, why have I chosen this? Is there a reason why? There is actually a good reason why. Again, that's one of the first point I gave up, was actually one of my opinions why. That's one of my reasons why. And the second reason why, it has no theme. All it has is a giant metal building, and then there's a giant woodland, which to you may class as a theme. To me, it does not. All it class as is you're in the middle of a forest with metal buildings, modernized, you're in the middle of the jungle, and then 2 seconds later, you may be thinking, well, this is the fun ride ever. No, it is not. You need a ride which is a brilliant theme, and most of these are brilliantly themed, and then there's others which are complete shite, which is actually this next one which will be coming up. Number 9 is actually Shockwave at Drayton Manor Resort. And if you ever been to Drayton Manor, you would know about this ride. You may think this is the best ride over at Drayton Manor, which is actually true. It is actually one of my favourite rides at Drayton Manor. Now, problem is with that, it's short, and there's no problem with rides being short. There's actually some good rides which are short, which is the Swarm. That is very short indeed, but it is actually amazingly brilliant for what it is doing, which is actually the theme and the idea that there's an apocalypse going on. But with Shockwave, there isn't any theme to this. It's like Nemesis Inferno in a way. It has no theme. Both Nemesis Inferno and Shockwave are both the same people who made these rides, which is B&M. I don't know what the full name is, but all I know is B&M, and that's it. That's personally it. Now, all I personally know about Shockwave, it has about 4 inversions, which is the same amount as Nemesis Inferno. My apologies, but at the same time, I don't need to apologize because this is my personal opinion. You must understand the personal opinions. Now, Shockwave is actually a bit of an odd theme. It's technically themed around a olden day building, like an old building. There's an old building where the station is, and then when you go, there's barely any theme. You are high. You're kind of high above the ground, obviously. But there's a few bits and bobs which kind of, again, confuses the idea of the theme of the ride, which I actually got a bit confused, when I first heard of this ride. And then when I first got on it, I thought it was amazing because it's a standing up roller coaster. And I believe it's one of the first of its kind as well. So Drayton Manor, I'm going to give you an applause for that. I don't know if it is, though. Hopefully it is, because if it isn't, well, I have to cry. I'm being a bit silly at the minute. Alright, I'm waiting a bit too much time already. Number 8 is Stealth. this ride is very short, but it has a very nice feature. It's a smaller version of King Dakar, which is in all the way over the United States of America. America! Oh, my apologies if I'm being a twat, like always. Now, Stealth is a short ride, as you may all know. It has a speed, which is amazing, which is, I believe it's 80 miles an hour. 80 miles an hour, which is the fastest ride in the UK so far. Now, issues with this, it's the theme. I understand themes are a bit less important in top 10s, but this one has a bit of a NASCAR-y theme to it, even though it's like a 1999 Chevy or something along those lines, or 1969. I'm sorry if I can't do the dates correct. But Stealth is personally a very nice ride. I haven't been on it. Most of these rides you may hear I haven't been on yet, unless the Alton Towers rides. You may know that as Shockwave as well as, and I actually like Shockwave. Sorry. So yeah, Stealth is actually not bad of a ride. It's short yet again, which sucks. I wish they could have actually made it a bit more longer in a way, but I can't do nothing about it. Is how they actually made their rides. There's no need for me to be arguing about this. Anyways, now to another Thorpe Park ride, which is Colossus at Old Thorpe Park. I nearly said Alton Towers. For God's sake, this is the first 10 inverted roller coaster in the UK so far, which actually broke a record when it first opened. Now, I've been hearing a few issues with this ride. One is a bit bumpy. I can't blame them. The ride is old. I believe it was 2003 when it opened. And the 10 inversions may give you a bit of a sicky nonsense. But anyways, now, Colossus I don't like as much due to many reasons. One is a bit odd theme. Even though it's a good spot, which is the Forbidden City, or I believe it's the Abandoned City, I can't remember now, in Thorpe Park. But it just doesn't, I don't know, it looks good, the idea is brilliant, but at the same time it just doesn't seem to work. It's like it's a bit of a mix between two other rides, which just doesn't add up in Thorpe Park's potential. Now, I'm losing another time. Number 6, this is actually a very interesting ride, which you may expect for me to put a higher rating. No, this one's going to go down for a very good reason. Air or Galactica. Now, when I was around, when I've actually been on it, it was amazing. I love the ride. It was one of my favourite rides until they brought Galactica. Galactica is one of those rides where you have the new headsets. So if you've been to Alton Towers, you will see like these weird virtual reality things on, which I don't like personally. It ruins the ride. It ruins the theme of the ride, which makes you fly. Even though it is smooth, it's a perfect idea to do it. It's just that why they've done it, it just doesn't add up to me. That's one of my reasons. Halfway mark. Yes, halfway mark. This is the halfway mark of the top 10. The ones I've done so far, which is personally why I hate. The number 5 on this list is actually going to be a bit of a shock to you guys, so hopefully you should understand why I've actually done this. Number 5 is actually Soar the Ride. Yes, Soar the Ride is personally a very nice ride. It's an extremely brilliant ride. It's got brilliant theming. It's got brilliant tricks up its sleeve. It's got some tricks up its sleeve. It's themed around Saw, the franchise, if you don't know, which works perfectly. And hopefully it stays around, because after the Smiler incident, it had to close for a few months due to testing just to see if it works perfect. And it does still, which is a brilliant success to reopen it. And hopefully it should stay like that. Now, number 4. This one's going to be a bit of a shock to you all. Oblivion at Alton Towers. Yes, the first vertical drop roller coaster in the world so far. Yes, it's the first vertical drop roller coaster in the world with a very interesting theme, which is like a mental, I won't say a mental asylum. I can't say that. It's a bit of an odd theme, which is brilliant. It gets you confused. The drop is amazing. It has no loops, which is sad, and it's very short. I can understand why wides can be short and wides can be a bit down at times. And anyways, let's get this to the king of the wides. Of roller coasters, the king of roller coasters, Nemesis at number 3. You would expect that Nemesis would be on this list, because it's the king of rides. It's my favorite, one of my favorite rides in the world at the minute. Hopefully it stays like that, because if it doesn't, I'm gonna have to cry. Again, it just doesn't add up. Anyways, Nemesis is one of the most iconic themes of rides so far on this list. Aside from the other theme, the other rides I've put up on this list, Nemesis is personally the most exciting ride and the most scariest ride I have ever been on in Alton Towers and in so far in the UK. If I ever go to Thorpe Park, I may change my mind on the Swarm, and hopefully it doesn't, because Nemesis is personally a brilliant ride is actually been made by an iconic designer of roller coasters in his past few careers. Now, number two. This one's going to be a bit of a shock to you all. The Swarm. This ride is actually the coolest ride I've ever seen in my lifetime. So far, aside from Nemesis, the Swarm has probably the second best theming. You may think why it's in number 2 instead of number 3. Well, there's the thing. The Swarm is a wing coaster, which is actually a very good idea for a ride. Instead of like you on you're lying sitting down on something, or you're sitting down above something, you're actually on the side, and even though you're sitting down on something, it still makes the beautiful like appearance that you are flying and you're on like a wing sort of thing, which is actually called the wing coaster, which is made by B&M. Strangely enough, the 3 I've done so far, which all 3 of them are from B&M, and is from a B&M, and that's all. Now, this one, the Swarm is actually a very nice ride. I can't really find out why. It's just brilliantly themed. It's brilliantly ideaed. It's like an idea of an apocalypse which has just broke out, and then this strange entity is flying around. I can't find any way to pronounce it. Find a way to describe the Swarm. It is that good. Now, number 1. Some of you should expect by now, from this t-shirt jumper, I should say, is the Smiler at Alton Towers. Yes, this ride is my favorite ride so far. This is the best ride I've been on in my lifetime. Now, when I was young, I never was good in roller coasters. I wasn't really that fond of roller coasters these days. But now, because I've been on it, I was dreaming to go on this ride. You know why? It's a world record holder. It had a bit of a bad history at the start, and it still has a bad history today. Like the crash at Alton Towers, which injured many people in the process. Which, sadly, I can't blame the people what happened. They're traumatized from this. They don't want this ride to continue long. I want this ride back. It is back now, and hopefully by the May holiday, I will be going on the Smiler again, and you'll see how brilliant this ride is. Now, if you guys are not from around here, so like other countries, for example, I'm just saying, give me some suggestions of your favorite rides, because personally, everyone has their favorite rides, and as many people can suggest, most rides can be better than others. To me, it doesn't matter if they're better. All it matters is the theme, the extreme, and also possibly how they came to be. The designers, I don't know much about the designers of much rides, but all I know is that hopefully this is going to continue along, as the Smiler will be riding around the Swarm. Fuck off, Nemesis Inferno, you're not going to be on this list. It is on the list still 10. And I'm never going to keep it there. I'm going to probably decrease it, because it's that shit. Yeah, so hopefully you guys should enjoy this personally very good video which I've came up for myself. This is the first top 10 on this list, and hopefully you guys should enjoy this video. Hopefully I can talk to you guys very soon, and hopefully you should enjoy the next few videos. See you later, hope you enjoy.